All right, good morning, everybody. Things actually seem to be calming down a little bit at the EDD. One of the questions that I'm getting a lot is, are people still waiting on the extension? I keep trying to call it extension, but what to do if you have not had your claim balance increased and you haven't got the extension yet? First of all, you won't have it added until you run out of whatever extension you're currently on. So if your claim balance hasn't hit zero, they're not going to add it until your claim balance hits zero. But if you've been at zero and you haven't been able to certify for a long time, I would go ahead and call the EDD. A lot of times they are able to get those extensions added on. I'm going to start in the chat at 1054 from Prezi says, still can't get to EDD by calling, tried several numbers, calling 5 times in the morning and afternoon. You just have to really keep hitting redial. That's my best advice for you. I don't recommend calling on Sunday or Monday because that's when everybody's calling. So if you can call any other days but those days, that's what I recommend. And then you guys know I don't recommend calling after 6 because I feel like the wait time to hold to speak to a rep it's too long and you're not going to get through before they close at 8. Solace Home Repair says, how's it going? I reapplied, haven't heard anything in a month. I've tried to call every single day and can't get through at all. Any suggestions? It's really just to be persistent. It's really hard to get through since a lot of you are asking that. The number I call is 833-978-2511. Listen to the long intro message. And then once that plays, quickly hit 134. But that tip's been out for so long now that a lot of people know it. So that doesn't always work anymore either. Nellie says that they got paid today, so that is great. I'm so glad that you were able to certify and that everything updated and that you got paid. Vanessa's nephew is born. I saw in the comments on one of the other videos. Congratulations on becoming an aunt. After midnight, 12:43 a.m. But now she's getting pressured to have children. Oh no, they just had this grandbaby and they're already pressuring you, but that's a fun pressure. Peace Can Tell says, filed a new year. I was on Fetid and now put on a new year instead of remaining on extension. New weekly benefit amount is more than $25 under the old. Shouldn't I remain on the extension, or is that rule only applies for PEUC? Unfortunately, if you are on a Fetid claim, when you filed your new claim, if you qualified for a new claim, unfortunately, they are allowed to keep you at the lower weekly benefit amount. They don't have to keep you on your existing extension. So they do move you to a new claim, and it doesn't matter how much lower it is if you're going from Fed Ed when you file for your new benefit year. Laura says, I'm confused as to my PUA claim. I was awarded the new extension on 3/14. I was able to certify 3/28, but when I came back to certify on 4/11, the weeks were disqualified. Okay, you are going to need to call them about that, but normally what that is if you filed a new claim and somehow it's not like communicating correctly in the computer. So either it's having you certify on the new claim when really you're supposed to certify on the old claim, and that's disqualifying it. And that wouldn't be your fault. It's a computer glitch. Or you're certifying on the old claim, and that's going to disqualify because you're supposed to be certifying on the new claim. So it's just not communicating the way it's supposed to. But unfortunately, once it says disqualified, the only way I know to fix that is by calling the EDD. Oh, and I'm sorry you're going through that. Okay, David Kim says, oh my God, guys, I've already lost my place in the comments. Do you guys know what that means? Like the video while I figure out where I got left off. My mouse is too sensitive. Okay, David says, I called the EDD. He fixed my last payment and said I will reapply for him. Asked some questions, and it's been like 2.5 weeks and my claim balance is still zero. What should I do? So usually this means that your claim is in review. However, there are a lot of people that are reporting that when they call, that the reps are actually able to push those payments through to paid. So since it has been, and the claim review can take anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks, but I am seeing it happen more and more in the 2 to 3 week range, which you're right, you're almost at the end of 3 weeks. And I'm seeing so many people report that when they call, the reps are able to push the payments through. All right, good morning, Ben. You got the Moderna vaccine a week ago, and it was super easy. This dose, that was dose 1, and dose 2, you worry you'll get hammered. Mine was Pfizer. And the second one was fine for me. My roommate that like just rents out the garage to like work from home or whatever during the day, he also got Pfizer. And for him, the second time he said that he felt like he had the flu. But that was only for one day. Most people I know that got Pfizer or Moderna, the worst it seems to be is like maybe some chills and like body aches on that the second dose. So good luck. Let me know how it goes. I also think like I needed to make videos and I was back at work and I just mentally told myself, I was like, this second dose isn't going to be bad. It's not going to be bad. It's not going to be bad. I think I just like psyched myself up and like, it's like, you're not going to get sick. You're not going to feel bad. So I don't know if that worked or not, but that's what I did. Okay. Wilson says, as of today, I have 12 weeks pending. I was approved for PEUC Tier 2, and my claim balance just updated to about $4K today. Will I get paid automatically, or will I have to call? Wilson, if 12 weeks is such a long time, I would call and I would be like, hey, I'm already pending for 12 weeks. How much longer am I supposed to wait? I do think it's a good sign that your claim balance updated, but I feel like you should not have been pending for 12 weeks already. And so I would recommend calling about that. Cecilia, thank you for the donation. Any word on tax amendments? You need to amend online to qualify for the Golden State stimulus and haven't seen changes to my software. So it's still my understanding that this $10,200 that they're not going to tax, I don't think, and I could be wrong on this, I don't think that's going to affect your adjusted gross income. So what they're saying is that people don't need to amend their taxes, that they'll automatically get any difference that they were owed, with the exception of the adjusted gross income. If it's going to affect your adjusted gross income enough that it would make you qualify for the EITC credit, then they are recommending people amend their taxes, which is your question. However, I think that might only be for your federal taxes and not for California state. I will make myself a note and look into that for sure. I'm not sure it's going to change for your state taxes. Adjusted gross income change. So for most people, it won't change. So just to recap for the rest of you guys who might not know what she's talking about, in California, if you made less than $30,000 a year, including your unemployment money, then you were supposed to get a $600 stimulus check from the state of California, separate than any of the federal stimulus checks. But to qualify, the adjusted gross income needed to be less than $30,000. And she's wondering if, since the $10,200 is not taxable, I think they still count it. I just don't think they tax you on it, but I think it's included in the adjusted gross income. But then there was the part about only amend your taxes if it would qualify you for the EITC tax credit. And that's another thing that's confusing. To get the Golden State stimulus, the $600, you needed to qualify for the Cal EITC tax credit, which is different than the federal EITC tax credit. So let me look a little bit more into that. Okay. Kim, thank you for the donation. 17 weeks pending under review. Account balance over 20K. Tier 2 reps keep saying I just have to wait. Kim, I find that so hard to believe. Wait for what? Like, have they said why it's pending? Are they telling you waiting for a phone interview? Have you at any time appealed? If you appealed, the appeal process does take a really long time. That's possible if you're in the middle of an appeal, if you ever sent a request for an appeal. But if you keep getting through to the tier 2 reps, which are the higher level reps, and they're still telling you just to wait, and it has been 20 weeks, I would get on email. I always recommend email and reach out to your assembly members and see if there's anything that they can do. I'm going to imagine that you've probably already done that as well, but unfortunately, those are the only tips and tricks that I know. I also, though, am seeing a lot of claims that are starting to clear up that have had these long-standing issues. And a lot of people just say, keep calling and keep asking different reps until you find one that can help you. If you're in an appeal, though, if at some point you were in an appeal and what the tier 2 reps really mean is you're waiting on a judge to review your case, that could take 17 weeks. My friend that did it really early in the process, it took him 15 weeks. And now people are saying about 6 months for an appeal. So if you're in the middle of an appeal would be the only reason why I could think of that they're not able to clear that up. But ask them, why am I pending? What is the review for? That way, when and if you email your assembly member, you can give them more information. And I'm so sorry, that's such a long time to be pending. I hope they get it cleared up soon. Wesley, thank you for the donation. I think my year ended, but I got a new extension. It covers from 4/11 and onward. I certified today and I got paid 1 week, and week 2 is pending. So a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times when the second week is pending, that could be because the system just hasn't caught up yet. And sometimes that second week can be pending for 72 hours. So I would try and wait 72 hours and see if the second week kind of catches up to the first one and switches to paid. The other thing would be if your benefit year ended. If you haven't filed for a new claim, you need to do that because the first week that you certified on might have been part of your previous benefit year, and then that one would be able to get paid, but the second one could get stuck on pending if you never filed for a new claim and that one was past your benefit year end. So a lot of people got the letters that said, some people got ones that said, you've been awarded PEUC for 13 weeks, you've been awarded PEUC for 11 weeks, or you've been awarded PEUC for 29 weeks. And they were like, oh, Shelly and Jenny are wrong. I didn't need to file a new claim because they just gave me 29 weeks. But there's a line in there that says if you meet all other eligibility requirements. And one of the other eligibility requirements is that you're within your benefit year. So even if you got an award letter for 29 weeks, you're not going to get all 29. You might get all 29 weeks, but they're going to make you file a new claim before they either keep you on the extension and give you all those weeks or give you the whole new claim. So if your benefit year is over and you haven't filed a new claim yet, you have to do that. And guys, I'm actually hearing that it's just fine to do it online. I'm actually getting people reporting to me that they've done it online and that it's actually faster than calling a rep and having them help with that. There are still some benefits to calling a rep, in my opinion, but it's so hard to get through. The one thing, if you file yourself online and you're not on the phone with a rep and you have questions that come up, you might have to call the rep anyway. When you're like, if you don't quite remember how to answer something or you're not sure like what the question wants to know, if you're doing it on the phone with a rep, they can answer. The other thing is, sometimes, not always, but it seems like if a rep helps you file and you haven't already done ID verification, you don't necessarily always have to do ID verification. Whereas if you file yourself online and you have not yet completed ID verification with ID.me, you are going to be asked to do that if you file a new claim online. So I hope that answered that. Okay, sorry. Let's see here. Rasar says, as I bypass the need to file a new year online by calling, do you think the EDD can possibly say that was the wrong process and make everyone Do it on the phone, redo online applications. Man, you guys are not going to like the answer to this. So, what I'm starting to see is that people who were told by a rep that they didn't need to refile, or, oh, we'll just add the extension, or, oh, we'll remove the benefit year-end flag, are now getting stuck in pending. And when those people call back, the new rep is saying something along the lines of, oh, well, what the first rep did was the lazy way, and they're not allowed to do that, and you do have to file a new claim. So I am starting to hear that. And now, more often than not, when you call and file a new claim with a rep, they're not necessarily going to be able to bypass it. They're just going to help you file online. And I'm not sure if that's true. I just am starting to see more and more people report that. Unfortunately, I don't work for the EDD, so sometimes the information changes. Sometimes the EDD puts things in writing and they turn out not to be true. Like when they say, we'll add the extension to everybody by April 17th, and then they don't put out a news release and they don't make any mention of it. Unfortunately, these things happen and the information changes, and then sometimes my advice and information has to change along with that. So I am starting to hear that some people who thought that they were good are getting stuck on pending, and when they call to find out why, the new rep is making them file again. Now, I don't know if it's the new rep that's wrong or if it was the original rep that was wrong, because unfortunately, I don't know the details of your claim, and I don't know the details. I don't exactly know what they're doing to your claims each and every time they call. I don't think they always know what they're doing to your claim each and every time that you call. All right, I'm going to take a drink of water if you guys would like the video, even if you didn't like that last bit of information. All right, Catherine says, mine also went straight to paid, but still 4 weeks pending. You're going to have to call to find out why those past 4 weeks are pending and when they tell you you're going to get paid on them, because again, anything past 72 hours is not normal. Laura says, my updated extension is no longer updated. It now shows my previous PUA claim in November. Again, you're going to have to call, and that might be something that you want to, always the 4 things: call, use Ask EDD, use Contact Us, and email your assembly member. Guys, I don't think I'll ever be changing this piece of advice. Always email your assembly member instead of calling them. That way there's a written trail. You have an exact date that you emailed them on your outgoing email. Then you have an exact date that they responded to you. So if they respond and they say, oh, the EDD said you're going to get paid within 10 days, and more than 10 days go by, you have it in writing to you from your assembly member, like when you were going to get paid. So I recommend that over the phone call, because in a phone call, they could say, oh, well, I don't remember saying that, or that's not what I meant. But if you get it in writing, it's in writing. So that's why I always recommend emailing your assembly member over calling them. And I'm always going to tell you my logic on why I'm recommending something over another. And I do my best to be upfront with you guys if my opinion on something changes or if I'm just flat out wrong, which unfortunately has been the case. Okay. Andrew says, nothing new with my claim, as my 29 weeks are paying out fine. Certified a little after midnight and woke up to paid. I'm helping family members now, so for future streams, I ask on their behalf. All right, Andrew, thank you so much. And you guys, Andrew has a YouTube channel as well. And he kind of presents like his own frustrations in a kind of comical manner. And he's got some other like just kind of funny, light videos. So if you guys want some EDD content that's a little bit on like the comical side, it's kind of sad also that he's gone through some of that, but also comical. So check out Andrew's channel. David says, I certified today. I have a 0 balance and I have not obtained the extension, and it appears paid in the 2 weeks. So David, if you got paid, that should be good. Was it 0 before those switched to paid, or did it just hit 0 after you certified today? If it just hit 0 after you certified today, that's normal. That's what has to happen before they will add the next extension onto your claim. Bravi says, pending issues should be fixed to paid after the review of the claim is completed. It takes 3 weeks. Will those change to paid, or we must call in to get it manually fixed? It's supposed to automatically fix itself, but we have seen other times when the EDDs put it in writing that something would be automatic, and then it turns out to not be automatic. So if it's been more than 3 weeks that since you filed your new claim and you're still stuck on pending, I would call the EDD, because like I mentioned a little bit earlier, I'm getting more and more reports that the EDD reps are able to push the payments through. Jillian says, when PUA ends in September, what do I think will happen to PUA? Do I think the federal government will push to have unemployment for independent workers as a permanent thing, or only during the pandemic? Oh, Jillian, I don't know. I think that there's definitely a need to have ongoing unemployment benefits for people who are self-employed. But here's what I think would happen, right? So normally, I know at the beginning of all this, a lot of us thought, oh, I pay into like me as the worker, I pay into the unemployment system. We actually don't. Our employer pays into the unemployment system. Like we pay taxes and things like that, but the actual money that goes into the unemployment program comes from our employer. So that's not something that we pay. Like the other taxes that we pay are for other things, not for unemployment benefits. So if the government decides to keep unemployment benefits for the self-employed, well, guess who's your employer when you're self-employed? You are. So they may see the need to have something like this, but what I would think would happen is that they would charge you a tax in order to pay into the unemployment system. So that's kind of what I think would happen. And I definitely think there's a need for that, but I also know that people don't want to pay more taxes. So I think it's going to be really tricky for the government to be able to keep extending without adding a tax. That's just what I think, but I don't really know. Politics are not my thing. I'm going to be very upfront with that. Sean says, I got my last payment today, even though I filed a new claim over a week ago. Only I got in the mail is showing new amount of benefit and nothing else, and it's less than what I have now. So Sean, this is going to depend on several things, because a lot of people are getting letters in funky orders. For example, if you get a new award letter, but you also get a letter of determination invalid claim 1277, if at any point you get the invalid claim determination letter 1277, even if you also got a new benefit award letter after the 1277 invalid claim notice, you're not going to go on to the new claim. So that's thing one. If you got that invalid claim notice, you won't go on to a new claim. You'll stay on your existing extension or your existing claim with the extensions added. The other thing is, if you were on Fed Ed when your benefit year ended and you filed for the new claim, if your new weekly benefit amount is lower, they are going to keep you at the lower weekly benefit amount. If you were on PEUC when your benefit, or PEUC extension tier 2 or PEUX, any of the PEUC extensions, when your benefit year ended and you qualify for more than $25 or more less than your existing claim, then they're going to still pay out the extensions on your existing claim. And if hopefully your review process will be complete and you'll be able to certify again by your next certification date. But if not, if you get stuck on pending for more than 72 hours, you're going to have to call the EDD to try and get your claim moving and paid again. All right, Jess, thank you for the donation. My Fetid ends May 7th. Will I get PEUC automatically, or should I call to get on PEUC? I went through the process of reapplying but got denied. Will I get the same weekly benefit amount? So yes, you'll get the same weekly benefit amount. It is supposed to be an automatic transition from Fed Ed to PEUC. This is one of the things that they've said will automatically take you from Fetid back to PEUC since your whole claim was not approved. And guys, denied and invalid claims, that's kind of, it's the same thing really, whether you were denied or you get the invalid claim notice, same meaning, different words that they're using to describe this. The reason why I stress should is because it's the EDD. And so sometimes even things that they put in writing don't happen automatically. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to see your claim balance hit 0. That will be normal. They're not going to add anything on before it totally hits 0. Then it will also be normal to potentially see the maximum benefits paid message. Some people see that message. Some people don't see that message. But that would be normal. So first claim balance hits 0. Then the next day you check your UI online, it's going to say maximum benefits paid. However, few days after that, maybe 4 or 5, you should see the next certification date. And it shouldn't really skip a beat. It should be exactly 2 weeks from when your claim balance hit 0. As long as you have the next certification date, that should mean that you're good. And that they're going to apply the extension. And your balance kind of stays at 0 for 2 weeks until you certify again. And then you certify, and then you see your claim balance increase and you get paid and everything works wonderfully if it successfully happens automatically. But what happens is sometimes the claim seems to like get stuck. The computer misses that they were supposed to automatically add the extension. And even though it's supposed to be automatic, people have had to call anyway. So I guess my advice to you is go ahead and certify all the way through May 7th, get that claim balance to 0, wait the 2 weeks to see if it automatically updates, certify, or if 2 weeks goes by and you can't certify, or if those 2 weeks go by, you certify and then it's stuck on pending for more than 72 hours, then that's when I would recommend calling. So about 2 weeks after May 7th, if it's not paying out by then, that's when you'll need to call them. And thank you for the donation. Okay. Joel says, so as far as you're aware, the IRS is going to send the difference of what 2020 filers paid before the 10K tax forgiveness by May or June. Yes, I think I read starting in May, which doesn't necessarily mean that everybody will be given the difference in May, but starting in May, people will automatically be sent the difference in what they overpaid the IRS because of the $10,200 tax forgiveness. Or if you didn't owe, if you had a refund, they'll give you an additional refund because that first $10,200 was not taxable. John Francis says, I helped my friend to certify with her new 29 weeks extension. I don't get it why it's still pending together with her 410 certification. So was her benefit year over? Did you help her file a new claim? Because her benefit year may have been over. It may still be in claim review. But again, call the EDD because it does seem like right now they're able to push those payments through. So a lot of times after you file the new claim, it goes through a third party for claim review, which I'm told can take anywhere between 2 and 6 weeks. But I am seeing the review process. I already know that's Henry, I think. Is this Henry? No, it's WH. I need different glasses. My glasses broke at work yesterday, guys. I love these glasses. Anyway, so yeah, so it can be pending while it's in claim review, but call them since some of the reps are able to push those payments through. WH, thank you for the donation. It says, you're on regular UI and my balance reached 0 2 weeks ago. Will I get the Fed boost of $300 a week even though I have no balance? Okay, so WH, what should be happening with your claim? You're one of those claims where you should be moving to the first PEUC extension. So the first letter that you're going to be expecting, and this should be a letter in the mail, but it might be a message in your UI online message inbox. So check there. First, you're going to get a 13-week PEUC extension added to your claim balance. That if it reached 0 2 weeks ago, you should have been able to certify today and seen that claim balance go up. If that didn't happen, which seeming like it didn't, you're going to have to call the EDD and say, hey, I just hit 0 on my regular unemployment benefits 2 weeks ago. Shouldn't the PEUC extension have been added to my claim already? Because you won't get the $300. So you have to get at least $1 in benefits from the EDD in order to get the $300. So if the EDD hasn't paid you anything, you won't get the $300 either. Now, you should be able to certify retroactively. So since you weren't able to certify and get paid today, since your claim balance had not updated, once you call and they push that extension through, then you'll be able to certify for all the missing weeks, and the $300 will eventually be added. Just they're not going to send it separately without getting a payment. So thank you very much for the donation. I hope that answered your question. Okay, Gabe says, I got a letter of disqualification due to involuntarily leaving my job as a result of schools closed and therefore lack of childcare. It was the option to appeal. I'm planning to do so. Yeah, and unfortunately, that's going to be your only option for right now. And Gabe, stay persistent on that. The appeal process does take a long time, but I'm rooting for you that they side in your favor. It does take a while for the appeal process to be complete. And I noticed that you say you're planning to appeal. I think you only have 10 days to send that letter back. So please send that back within that 10-day time frame. Hot tamale. Awesome. It just says, have an awesome day. Tanya says, have an awesome day. And guys, I'm 27 minutes behind in the comments. So if I do not get to your question, I'm very, very sorry about that. I should be able to go a little bit longer today. And I hope that when I answer someone else's question, it also helps you. And I love when you guys help each other in the chat. If I skip your question or don't get to it, please wait 15 minutes before posting the question again, because now we know I'm 30 minutes behind. Susie says, I'm going to not read the how are yous because that takes up time, but just know I'm good. I hope you guys are good and all of that. Okay, I wasted enough time on that. I certified last Sunday and no balance on my card until today. Thank you. Okay. Well, I'm glad that there's a balance. I'm sorry it took a week to get there. Mickey, thank you for the donation. In your notification, it said that you cannot receive any more benefits until my benefit year ends, which is still until 9/11/21. Am I getting my PEUC extension? Yes, you should. The extension should take you all the way to September 4th. However, it sounds like you're one of those cases where the EDD is supposed to be automatic. If you don't qualify for a new claim, they're supposed to automatically keep you on your existing claim and add the extensions as you move from one program like UI to PEUC to PEUCX extension tier 2 to PEUY extension tier 2 augmentation. All of that's supposed to be automatic. But again, the process is your claim balance is going to go to 0. Then it's normal to see maximum benefits paid, but then you should be able to certify again in 2 weeks from the time your claim balance hits 0. And if you're not able to, that's when you have to call. So it's yes. But if your claim balance just hit 0 or you just got the notification that says that sounds like the maximum benefits paid notification right on your UI online homepage. It's like all big right there in the middle. That's normal. And they should be adding that extension to your claim, but it may take 2 weeks for it to show up. By your next certification date, that's when your claim balance should increase. And thank you for the donation. Okay, Emily, I like Emily is always leaving me cute emojis, but this is terrible. Oh, she likes my hair. I'm letting it air dry, guys. I worked a 13-hour shift yesterday. I am super tired today. I was like, just get up, take a shower. It'll wake you up. I have no makeup on, like not even mascara, my eye, whatever. I'm gonna quit touching my face like that. I got distracted. Anyway, you're not able to log into EDD. It's still down, but she'll try later on. Guys, I do have a couple tips for any time the EDD website is down. First of all, if you normally try from your cell phone, I'm showing you guys my messages. It's Clubhouse and Pokemon Go, which I definitely don't play anymore. Anyway, if you normally try from your phone, try from a laptop or a desktop computer if you have access to one. Also, if you go on your phone or from the desktop, this is weird to me that you have this option from the desktop computer, but instead of choosing UI online, which is more like the full site, try hitting UI mobile. That will sometimes work. So try choosing UI mobile instead of UI online and see if that gets you through. But yeah, it's Sunday, so it's crowded today. Oh, Mary, thank you for the donation. I'll be on the lookout for one of your questions, but I am pretty far behind. Oh, George just got his new claim, or Jorge. I'm not sure which. Okay. Oh, you guys, I skipped in the comments accidentally. I did not mean to. Oh, Blue-Eyed Female's in here. Blue-Eyed Female moderates for me, and she's super awesome. Oh, Mary says it was her donation. I have 6 weeks pending. I called them last week. They told me they're required to do a phone interview to see if I'm eligible, and they gave no timeline for that with an exclamation point. So usually, I have to always say usually and should. It seems like for the most part, they're able to complete the phone interviews within about 10 days. The phone interview is pretty easy. The EDD sent out a tweet that it should be coming from a number that says EDD. So on your caller ID, but sometimes on your UI online homepage, it'll tell you when your interview is. Sometimes I think they're supposed to send you a message through UI online, but sometimes the call just comes from out of the blue. So maybe keep your ringer on until you have that call. And when the representative calls you, they are supposed to know like your account information, not all of it, but like your account number and stuff, just because I want you guys to be careful and not get scammed. Also, I'm going to lecture you guys for 2 seconds, which even though there's 380 of you watching, you probably don't like it. Go ahead and like this video anyway, because the lecture is to protect you, I promise. So I am back at work at the movie theater, and guess what some people are using as payment? Can you guess? You guys, probably not you guys because you watch the channel, but there are people that are paying for their movie tickets with their EDD debit card, and that's not a problem. We take it, fine. I love that you're back at the movies, that you feel comfortable, but you guys know that scares the living you-know-what out of me, because like, and I don't think anybody has like any hacker software like tied to our card, but if you guys are out there using your EDD debit cards to purchase movie theater tickets, are you using it at gas stations? Please, please, please. Like, I don't know what I can do. Tell me what I can do to convince you to automatically transfer that money into a regular bank account as soon as it's transferred to your EDD debit card, to set up those automatic transfers into a regular bank account. If you don't have a regular bank account, please, please, please go inside the bank. Don't use the bank's ATM card and get all the money out like the minute after that, after it loads to your EDD debit cards. Please don't be out there in the real world using that EDD debit card to purchase anything. Please, please, please. Okay, lecture over. Share that information with your friends. Please, if there's one thing that you guys take away from this, it's please don't use that dang debit card anywhere. Okay. Rant over. Sorry. Back to the questions. Dream on. Thank you for the donation. How do I get a hold of someone for my pending pay? You have to really, really just keep calling nonstop. And then a lot of times, the reps right now do seem to be able to release the holds on those pending payments and get you paid sometimes, but not always. And if that's not working, if you absolutely can't get through, I'm going to check my email, you guys. Because I might have another discount for you guys, and I may go ahead and share someone else's discount, even though, let's see. A lot of people are using that service, Claimyr, and they're really liking it. It costs $20 to have them. It's like an auto dialer, and it will auto dial the EDD for you. Jenny Silver has a code. Check out one of her latest videos to get that code. And I don't think that anyone should have to call to get a hold of the EDD. I just know that some of you guys are at your wit's end. Some of you have $15 and it's worth more to you to be able to like go color with your kids or read them a story versus like getting frustrated on the phone with EDD. So there is that service. It only costs $15 with a code, and I'm working on getting a code, but I don't have it yet. Jenny Silver, like usual, beat me to the punch. So check out one of her videos, or comment on one of her videos and say, Shelly said you had a Claimyr code. That may be worth it for you, but also always 4 steps when you're trying to call the EDD or get in touch with the ID. So call them, ask EDD, contact us from your UI Online homepage, and then email your assembly member to try and get help on those pending payments. Okay, I lost my place. Uh-oh. Hey, shoot. Blue-eyed female, I see that you have deleted some of Caesar's comments. So I'm so sorry about that. Uh-oh. Okay, guys, I lost my place. I'm going to stop and read Kari's, because I see she left me a bunch of hearts. If my employer called me to go back to work and I couldn't because my kids are not going back to work, what is my status of unemployment? Is it a voluntary quit due to COVID? Have you actually quit? A lot of employers are able to work with their employees. Like, I know, for example, we haven't brought all of our employees back yet. So we called everybody back in order of seniority. We had some people that weren't comfortable coming back until they've been fully vaccinated. That's fine. Some people that can't. So we just skip them. We call the next person, say, hey, are you ready to come back to work? Yes or no? No? Okay, we call the next person, but they're still furloughed and we're still in touch with them. So are you still furloughed, or did you say, I'm so sorry, I'm never going to be able to come back? If you're still furloughed, then you just put that you're still furloughed. If you did have to turn in your notice, I think I would choose voluntary quit due to COVID. The thing is, I'm going to just be upfront with you. That is probably going to trigger a phone interview. And then if the schools are closed, I don't know if you were in the chat earlier, but one of my viewers mentioned that they actually had their phone interview, got disqualified because of lack of childcare, and then now they're having to appeal. So just be very careful with that. Also, see if you can work with your employer. Could you go back a couple of days a week? Because even the employees, like, we're on a lot of reduced hours, guys. Could you go in 1 day a week? Do you have anybody that could watch the kids like 1 day a week? Will your employer work with you? Because if you had a good relationship with your employer, or maybe even if you didn't have a good relationship with your employer, these employers need people to go back and they don't have people that can go. Would they let you go back just 1 day a week? Is there any way they can accommodate you from home? Just because I'm not saying like, oh, get back to work or anything like that. I understand everyone's situation is different. But if you liked working with that employer, if you had a good relationship with them, they might be able to work with you. And part of the reason why I'm like, can you go back for 1 day, or can you see if you can remain on furlough because you don't have childcare? I just don't want to see your EDD claims get hung up. And even though that's truthful and it should be a valid reason that you voluntarily quit due to COVID, I just want to be upfront with you that it's probably going to cause pending issues until you have a phone interview. And guys, again, I don't like to spread false information, but I am starting to hear several reports that people are saying that once summer hits, that the EDD may not accept lack of childcare or school closures as an acceptable reason for not being back at work, because schools are usually closed during the summer anyway. There's also a lot of teachers that are having trouble because they often don't teach during the summer. So you've got to call the EDD on all of that. And I just know that it never gives me any pleasure to give you guys answers like that. All right, and shout out and please give Blue-Eyed Female a bunch of claps for helping moderate this and making sure that there's not a bunch of spam. Aw. Uh-oh. Curry's warning everybody that you can't certify today. I'm sorry, I'm skipping around because I lost my place, but I'm trying to get back up to my place and then work my way back down. Larissa, you're welcome. Brandon says, will they automatically add extensions? They're supposed to, as long as you're within your benefit year Or if you've filed a new claim and been denied or gotten an invalid claim notice, then yes, they're supposed to. Does that mean that they will? I cannot guarantee that. Charlie Brown says, when certifying, do we need to show we looked for work? I am at the end of my Fetid extension. Thanks. The work search requirement is still waived as of right now. But since businesses are reopening, that could change. It has started to change in other states. But even in the other states where it has changed, they've given the people that live in those states, residents, what's the word? What are they called? Anyway, the people that live in those states, they gave them about a month notice before the requirement actually went in place. So like April 1st, they said, hey, by May 1st, we're going to start actually asking you to list where you looked for work. Now, you guys that have been with me on my channel for a long time, you know that I always recommend saying yes to did you look for work? But then if you get to a page and it asks you to list where you looked for work, you can actually hit skip right now. Okay. Oh, guys, if you got, this is maybe, I'm reading part of Olive's question, and I don't know if this is the full question. It says, do I need to fill up the appeal form? If you guys get the invalid claim letter of determination of invalid claim 1277, you don't want to appeal that. That will cause your claim to get stuck for many weeks, maybe up to 6 months. If you get a notice of determination, invalid claim letter 1277, that just means the new claim wasn't approved, which is fine. Most of us, our new claims are not going to be approved because we didn't do any work that whole year while everything was shut down. And what happens when you get that letter is then that's when they keep you on your existing claim and add the extensions to those. So don't appeal the invalid claim letter unless you really, really need a whole new claim, because you kind of want to stay on your existing claim and have those extensions added. Okay, sorry, still looking for my question, where I left off. I'm just going to have to pick a spot at some point. Shoot. Okay. All right, we're just going to pick up from 11:14, I think. And then in about 10 minutes, I'm going to start skipping around because I want to try and get people that are still in the chat. Jessica says, my Fetid ends in 2 weeks. Should I call to see if I will get PEUC? You shouldn't need to. It's supposed to be automatic. If your benefit year is over, though, if your benefit year has ended and you haven't yet filed a new claim, you will need to do that. Let's see. Harriet says, I did actually get through to the EDD, but was on hold for 4 hours. That's fairly common. I would say more common is 2 hours. And by the way, you guys all know that, like, if they're like, your hold time is 11 minutes, most of the time that means an hour and a half. If they're like, your hold time is 28 minutes, that most likely means about 2 hours, unfortunately. Every once in a while, they actually do honor that. I think once it told me my hold time was less than a minute, and it actually was, and I nearly like fell on the floor in shock. Okay, drink of water, like the video. Tremaine says, address verification, how long does it take to process? So I'm guessing that's the same as ID verification. ID verification is supposed to only take 10 days from the time you complete ID.me, but most of my viewers report closer to 30 days for ID verification to be complete. Okay. Zanab says, Oh, no, Zana. I tried to answer everybody's questions. I don't want people to feel like they have to donate money to get their questions seen. But I don't want people that donate to feel like I'm ignoring them either. I want to make them feel like they get value for answering the questions. So anyway, I'm on to non-donation questions right now. But that comment was from 30 minutes ago, so he probably popped out by now. Okay, I am skipping around a little bit. Let's try and read. Where's Rose's comment? I don't know. Okay. Mimi says, I reached 0 today. My next certification is 5.9. I reapplied on 3/15. When can I see an update on my portal? So it'll take the full 2 weeks to see an update. You won't see that again until you certify on 5.9, but it's a very good sign that you already have your next certification date. Garrett says, I'm stuck on pending 410, only received 3 payments, already verified with ID.me. What's going on? So there's another third-party review that the claims all went to for fraud review, basically. But if you've been pending for 3 payments, I would go ahead and call the EDD. That claim review is only supposed to take 2 to 6 weeks, and most of my viewers are reporting that it's on the shorter side of 2 to 3 weeks. And I'm hearing that if you call the EDD, they can push the payments through. So I'm hearing that happen more and more. So definitely call them. Arnold says, I filed a new claim, got my invalid claim letter in March, but I never received anything else. But when I log on, it asks me to file a new claim or manage. Do I reapply again? No, you shouldn't need to do that. And if you're getting paid and not stuck on pending, I wouldn't worry too much about it. But if it ever gets stuck on pending, that's when you're going to have to call and say, hey, well, I already got this invalid claim notice, so I already filed a new claim. Why is it saying that? I actually have that as well, and I already got my invalid claim notice, so I think that's just a glitch. Okay. Mark says, I got a message from EDD saying he will file it for me. Is that true? Like a message, like a text message? This sounds suspicious to me. Okay. Okay, some of these I read real recently. Mark says, this is what it says, EDD alert. Oh, okay. We filed a pandemic emergency unemployment compensation extension on your unemployment claim. Check your UI online account for updates. So yes, that means that they have automatically added the extension for you. But again, if your benefit year ends, even if they've automatically filed that for you, there's a little stipulation if you read like the whole notice in your UI online account that says as long as you meet other eligibility requirements, and the other eligibility requirements are that you're within your benefit year. Maggie says, I received a text 3 days ago that I qualified for the new extension. I still have a 0 balance. How long do I have to wait to certify? Usually you should maybe in 2 days start to see the next time you can certify again, but your claim balance will not go up until your next certification Sunday. Okay. AH said, I reapplied with a rep on Wednesday and got a letter in the mail yesterday for notice of unemployment insurance claim filed and also a letter of notice of unemployment award. That's normal to get one with a benefit award and another one saying invalid claim. If you at all get your invalid claim notice, you will not get the new claim. The extensions will be added to the existing claim. Oh, yeah, guys, just ask your question once, or at minimum, like if I miss it or something, maybe again in 15 minutes. Sorry, since I skipped around. Sue says, after ID me, wait 24 hours and relog on to ID.me, not just EDD, because it then will divert you to be able to refile a claim. Okay, that is good advice. So she's saying after ID.me, wait 24 hours and then relog on to ID.me. And then it takes you to be able to file a new claim. Mayor Bear said, emailed your assembly member praying for help. A claim specialist said that I'd get an extension, but doesn't know when and gave no time limit. 6 weeks now and nada. Yes, Mayor Bear. So a lot of times the assembly members will get back to you within 48 hours, like just letting you know that they have received your email. And then oftentimes they can fix your claim in as little as 4 days. And Miss Raymond, that is amazing. Wait, but that your assembly member helped you get your back pay from December 27th. JB says, I haven't been paid since December 20th, citing fraud concerns. What do I do? So call them and ask them what you need to do. I have a feeling that you're going to need to have to appeal that. But do all 4 things for sure in your case. Call them and say, hey, what are the fraud concerns? What do I need to do to address those concerns and get my claim moving and paid again? You're going to use Ask EDD. You're going to use the contact us once you're logged onto your UI online, and then you're going to email your assembly member and say, hey, I haven't been paid since December 20th. They're saying it's because of fraud. I haven't been paid in a long time. Guys, when you email your assembly members, make sure to say you're experiencing financial hardship. Sometimes that helps to move things along, and see what they recommend. Sally and Blue Eyed Female are talking to each other. I have asked specifically for a tier 2 rep with the EDD. I'm on Fetid, but the extension is still not applied. And Blue Eyed Female, I think you guys worked that out, but if you're on Fetid and you still have a balance, they won't add the extension until your balance is all the way at 0. Pam says it took a week to get verified through ID Dummy. Finally had a video visit with rep and now filed a new claim online, 3 weeks pending. You're at the tail end of what seems to be about the regular time frame for that. So I do recommend at this point calling the EDD and seeing if they can push those payments through. Bay Area says, smash the like button. Why do I feel like I know you? Can I answer Let Out's question? Yes, let me scroll down because I saw Let Out kind of towards the bottom. So let me scroll around and looking for Let Out. Do I feel like I know you from Graham Stephan's channel, maybe? Hold on. Let Out says, I'm on PEUC. My benefit, I don't know how I just found that. I can never find anything. Hopefully this is still the question because this is from 1133. I'm on PEUC. My benefit year ended on 4/12/21 with a balance. I haven't applied for a new claim, but I just got a notice to certify for 2 weeks. Should I certify although my year expired? Yes. If you have dates to certify, keep certifying for benefits. However, you are going to need to file a new claim. What I suspect will happen the next time you go to certify is that it's going to get stuck on pending. And 4/12, like if you just certified 4/12, have we gone 2 weeks now? I think we have. Yeah, so we've gone 2 weeks now, probably since you last got paid. I wouldn't be surprised if these 2 payments for the week ending 4/17 and 4/24, if those get stuck on pending, even though it's letting you certify, they're not going to pay you if you were on PEUC past your benefit year end. Unless by some like weird chance you had a conversation with the EDD, like I would say maybe within the last month and a half, where maybe you didn't realize you were telling the rep, hey, I'm not going to qualify for a new claim. But if you recently called them and maybe you mentioned like, I haven't done any work, are you sure I'm going to need to file? Like there may have been something that you said in a conversation where the rep was able to do the thing where they bypass. But if you haven't called the EDD, if you haven't had any conversations like that with them where they might have bypassed officially filing a new claim, you're going to need to file a new claim. Erica, thank you for the donation. I reapplied and got $76 new claim. I was getting $215 before. I thought we kept the same amount if the new amount was lower. Is that true? It depends on what kind of claim you were on when your benefit year ended. If you were on Fed Ed when your benefit year ended, and that's when you had to file a new claim, unfortunately, they will keep you at the lower weekly benefit amount. But if you were moving from PEUC, when you filed a new claim, then if your weekly benefit amount decreases by $25 or more, that's when they keep you on the extension on your existing claim. So it depends on which program you were moving from. If you were Fed Ed, when your benefit year ended, unfortunately, they're going to keep you at that lower amount. But if it's PEUC, they should be keeping you at the higher amount, and you should be getting a notice about that in a few more days. Thank you for the donation. Yeah, everybody's having trouble logging on to the EDD web. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people are having trouble, as usual, on Certification Sunday, logging onto that EDD website. If you can, no matter which device, if you're using your phone or desktop, try using selecting UI Online Mobile or UI Mobile instead of UI Online. That can help sometimes. Rio, oh, you're welcome for the Q&A. You reached your $0 claim balance today and your benefit year hasn't ended. Will it automatically update to the 29-week extension or do I have to call? So again, guys, it's normal for your claim balance to hit 0. Then after that, you're probably even going to see the maximum benefits paid message. That's also normal. Then you're going to hopefully be able to certify again in 2 weeks. And that's when you'll see your claim balance increase. So you shouldn't have to call them. It is supposed to be automatic. But if you don't see a date, if in about 5 days you don't see your next certification date, then you may need to call them and say, hey, I just ran out of my benefits, but I don't see my next day to certify, because sometimes the reps tell people, oh, the computer missed your claim. It didn't catch that we were supposed to automatically add the extension. That sounds like a lot of BS to me, but that's what the reps tell people. So even though it's supposed to be automatic, people have had to call. I also just want to caution everybody that now the current progression of things is that first you would get 26 weeks of UI, then you would get 13 weeks of PEUC, then 11 weeks of PEUC, and then lastly, 29 weeks of PEUC. So the number of weeks that get added to your claim depends on like which extension you currently used up. And then if unemployment is still high in California, then you would go to Fetid. Now there was some time in between all of this where they hadn't voted on that. What was it? The 11-week PEUC extension. So some of those people went on to Fetid. So if you got on Fetid, I think it was, you could be on this path, 26 weeks of unemployment benefits, 13 weeks of PEUC, 20 weeks of Fetid, back to PEUC, extension tier 2 at 11 weeks, then the 29 weeks of the third PEUC extension, but that will actually only take you through September 4th as everything is written right now. That could change, but even if there is a fourth stimulus package, I don't think our politicians are going to vote on it any sooner than like the very last minute. Tony, thank you for the donation. You've got a new claim and a new balance, but you still have 5 pending payments. Should I call? Yes, absolutely, Tony. Thank you for the donation. And I hate to tell you to call, but yes, if you have 5 pending payments, everything else you're telling me sounds good. So hopefully that rep can push your payments through. And I know it's really hard to get through. Also, Tony, I'm just going to say it. I personally don't recommend calling on a Sunday or Monday because their lines are too full to get through. If you can, try and wait Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I used to not recommend calling at 8 a.m., but a lot of people actually do have pretty good luck getting in between 8 a.m. and 8:15 a.m. and then don't call after 6 because there's too many people already holding to speak to a rep until they close. All right, skipping around in these comments again. We're at the hour mark. So yeah, yes, please call, you guys. If it's ever pending, honestly, more than 72 hours is generally not normal unless you know you're in ID verification, unless you know your claim's in review. And even then, there can be other issues besides just the claim being in review that worry me. Oh, shoot. Yes, Diona, I will read your message a little bit up, as long as I can find it, which is not my strong point. I had good luck a minute ago, though, so I'm feeling good about this. Diona. All right. Okay. I have confidence. How far up, Diona? I've scrolled up. Diona, can you ask your question again? Because I'm not seeing it. And yes, I would love to answer your question. I just don't see it. Floyd Female's telling me who's a regular on my channel. I feel like I know him from like another channel too. Like I recognize a lot of people in here, but like I feel like I see him somewhere else. Sometimes I know people from like Meet Kevin's chats. I don't know. I watch a lot of YouTube. All right, so Diona, if you could ask your question again, that would be amazing. Oh, it's in all caps. Oh my goodness. All right, I'll try again. But see, while I'm scrolling, I could be answering questions. All right, let's do this all caps question. I'm looking. Do you know the timestamp, Deanna, that you put it at? I'm looking. Oh, nope, that's blue-eyed females. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I saw blue-eyed females all caps. Yeah, guys, please don't ask the question like multiple times. Gianna, I don't see yours. I want to read this one because there's like animal emojis. See, this is what happens also. Oh, Bella V, now I'm skipping around just so I'm not out of timestamp, but now I'm reading the one right after at 11:52. Just a 50 says, I was able to certify for 3 weeks while my benefit year expired on 4/5 and was paid. Now they updated my portal and it's a new claim, but now I'm still pending for a week since 4/18. So I would call them to find out why that week is pending. A lot of people that were on Fetid were actually able to certify and get paid past their claim year. So it sounds like maybe that's what happened in your case. But now that you are stuck on pending, give them a call to find out why. It might just be that your claim is in review. That could be normal. But there can be other issues, which is why I don't want to just tell people, oh, just wait, because even though a lot of these things should take care of themselves automatically, because the EDD has a history of them not doing it correctly in the past, I don't want you guys to just sit around and wait when you could be getting paid, which is why often I might know why something's happening, but I'm still probably going to recommend that you call. Let's see. All right. I'm going to try and find Gianna. Hopefully you've asked your question again because, man, I don't know. Maybe it's just, I don't know. I did not see your comment. But I want to. Ooh, see, I get distracted. I'm like, ooh, basketballs and strong arms and prayers. So I'm going to read Tony Marin's and then, Gianna, I'll look for yours. Okay. I see that you said you resent it. So I will for sure find it. I'm going to read Tony's and then I promise you I will find it. I also got the text that the EDD is doing the extension. I know it's not fraud because on every extension I ever got, I got a text. Yeah, sorry. Like I thought it was saying that they filed a new claim for them, and you shouldn't ever get a text saying, it's hard to read some of these chats because it limits you on the number of characters you put in. So I thought they were saying, oh, I got a text saying I filed a new claim on your behalf. And I was like, that sounds suspicious. But yes, people do get the text saying the extensions were automatically added. However, I do want to just remind everybody again, just because you got the text that the extension was added does not mean that that you'll get all 29 weeks or all 13 weeks, because once your benefit year ends, you're going to have to reapply. Okay, Gianna, I'm looking. I'm going to find yours. Okay, my son applied for UI on March 6th. He has been laid off since January. He is a paramedic and worked his butt off this year and now off, and it shows where he's getting something, but he's been paid nothing. March 6th. So we're more than a month after he first applied for benefits. Has he completed ID.me? We should be at it. It normally only takes 3 weeks, 21 days for a new claim to start getting paid. So it sounds like it's been, that's almost 7 weeks now. It's all like a little over like a month and 3 weeks past when you first applied. So he should be getting paid by now. So you're not going to like it, but my advice is to call because yes, he should be getting paid already. I know that all new claims are needing to go through the ID.me verification. Has he done that? Yeah, it really should be like it. He should already be getting paid. So, and unfortunately, since I don't know why he's not getting paid, he's going to have to call, or you'll have to help him call. Ben, thank you for the donation. You refiled on 3/28. You have been scheduled for a virtual interview on 5/4. Now you're stuck 3 weeks pending, although my extension was added. So yeah, unfortunately, you won't get paid until you have that phone interview. So I am told that those are fairly easy, like it's a 10-minute process. So just make sure you have your phone on and ready to do that phone interview. They won't tell you on the phone what the determination is. And I'm seeing it go both ways. Some claims get approved, some claims get disqualified. Hopefully yours stays approved, and they remove the flag and switch you to paid. But that won't happen any earlier than May 4th, unfortunately. Uh-oh. You guys also, please don't say please answer. Like you guys saw how long it took me to reach Diona's question. So if it's been more than 15 minutes and I haven't answered your question, then it's okay to go ahead and ask it again. Oh. Uh-oh. Somebody, employed female, saying it took Edgar, EDD, Edgar. I always get his name messed up, but it says that it took half his life to get through. Gianna says it burns my butt. Uh-oh. Yeah, I know. You guys, it's really anytime. I know that we say, oh, all these liars got it. EDD kind of set it up that way. They set it up for people who, not EDD, the federal government set this up to a lot of potential frauds and scams, and it absolutely stinks. It really, really does. But it'll be worth it when he gets paid, and sounds like a paramedic, that's an amazing job. So it sounds like he's a good, hardworking son, and you're obviously a very caring mother. And when he finally gets paid, it'll be worth it. It's frustrating now, but should be worth it. If you're absolutely not able to get through to the EDD, try reaching out to your local assembly member, and they can perhaps help you figure out what's going on. Okay. Something like what? Giona, okay. I'm going to go ahead and give my phone tips again. Don't call. If you can, try not to call Sunday or Monday. Try not to call after 6 p.m. because everybody's still on hold. The number that I call is 833-978-2511. Then after that long intro message, quickly hit 134. That's not always going to work because there's so many people now that know that tip that it's just a lot of people using that tip as well, but it's worth a try. Oh shoot. Okay. 12:03. Yes. Thank you for leaving the timestamp, Maria. Thank you for the donation. I'm on the hunt now for your comment at 12:03. Yeah. Leaving the timestamp. That is super helpful. Okay. And I don't want you guys to feel like you have to donate, but it does help me see your comment. Like, it's bright and colorful. It just stands out. It's not that I just want to do that. Okay, 12:03. Okay, so we've got Maria says, for new claims, are we using 2019 or 2020 income? My rep asked me for 2019. Do you have new income? That would have been a good question to ask for her. But yes, now is it a brand new claim, or like, is this the filing a new claim after your benefit year is over? After your benefit year is over, I would say that it is normal to use the 2019 income. She may not have asked for 2020 because she may not have realized you had any 2020 income. But yeah, if you had income since the pandemic, and I also want to say that, like, if you haven't worked at all since you first filed for unemployment benefits, you wouldn't qualify for a new claim. So, but if you just had some wages in like January, February, March, you applied for benefits in March 2020, and then you haven't worked at all, that would be why she didn't ask about 2020, because you won't qualify for a new claim if you didn't work at all since first opening your claim, even if you worked like January, February, March of 2020. I hope that makes sense. So that would be why they would only ask for your 2019 income. And I want to say, when I filed my new claim, that they also only asked me about my 2019 income. I think they actually just said, is this correct? And then they read me a number. If this is your absolute first time filing, they would be, like, if you never had a claim before, then they should be asking for your 2020 income. Okay. Lizette said, anyone else have an in-person appointment? Lizette, as far as I know, those are still not happening and that it actually will be virtual. But I would call just to double check. But as far as I know, they're actually not doing in person. See, Rich DM, he's definitely a regular member of my channel, but I also see him pop in on Meet Kevin's channel. The reason why I thought LED out or let out that I know him from another channel is it says smash the like button, and that's like a Graham Stephan thing, especially when they add like for the YouTube algorithm. Okay. Skipping around here, I'm probably going to go in about 5 minutes. Oh, okay. Juan says, yesterday I certified my weeks went to paid today. Also, my Claimyr, it was over 4 weeks ago. I only have $250 balance left. Hopefully they'll give me the extension. Okay. So have you filed a new claim yet? I do want to say that some of the Fetid claims, if you're on Fetid, have been able to certify past their benefit year end and still get paid. So that may be why you're still getting paid, even if your benefit year ended. Once the two, so if you haven't already reapplied, you're going to need to reapply. If you have reapplied and got denied and they've kept you on your current extension, then yes, they're supposed to add the new extension, but your claim balance is going to have to totally hit 0 before they add that extension. It's going to hit 0. Then you'll see the maximum benefits paid message. Then you should be able to certify on schedule in 2 weeks from when your claim hits 0. And it's supposed to be automatic, but it hasn't always been automatic because it's the EDD. Why would they do what they're supposed to do? It's supposed to be automatic, but you might have to call. Okay. Coda Pause says, what happens when I lost my place? Mid question. How does that even happen? Okay. Coda Pause says, what happens when you declare some income during certifications and the remaining balance is less than your weekly benefit amount? How do I get that balance to 0 so my new extension can be added? Coda Pause, you are not going to like this answer either. So, when you report some earnings, it leaves you with these like wonky amounts, right? So you're getting paid probably some weeks, some benefits from the EDD. There might be weeks when you have an excessive earnings notice. That can actually drag your extension to last longer than 13 weeks or longer than 11 weeks. It can also drag out the number of weeks you're getting the extension. But then sometimes you're left with like, let's say $15 on your claim. Unfortunately, you're going to not be able to certify again for 2 weeks. When you certify, the first week will pay you your $15. The second week is going to say NA because there wasn't enough in your claim balance to pay you for that second week. So, but when that happens, then, so it would pay you your $15 for week 1 that you certify. Week 2, it's going to say NA. But then, since they didn't pay you anything on your second week, what's supposed to happen is that's going to change your certification cycle. And then you should certify the very next Sunday, and that would include 2 weeks for you to certify. So you shouldn't actually miss any payments, like any weeks of payments, but it will change your certification cycle. Also, you're going to have 1 week in my example. This is just an example. I don't know what your wonky amount left over in your claim is. But in this $15 example, you would only get the $15 that's not your full weekly benefit amount, plus, of course, the $300 weekly boost for that 1 week on your claim balance. So that's how that works. Daisy, I'm so glad that after listening to the long intro message that quickly hitting 134 did get through. It's working for some people, not for others. Okay, let's see. Maria says, for anyone failing to get through, I've been trying every single day. Today you paid Claimyr app and got through within 15 minutes. You guys, they're supposed to be telling me how I can get you a code that will get you $5 off if you want to use Claimyr. And I guess my code's not active yet. Let me just double check. Nope, it's not. Oh, wait. No. They haven't gotten back to me. So check on Jenny Silver's. She always beats me to everything, guys. It's okay though. I'm back at work. It's hard for me to beat her to the punch. She's posting like 2 videos a day. I don't know how she does it. She's got 2 kids too, man. See, she is hustling. That is what she's doing. She has a code that'll save you $5 if you want to use Claimyr. And I think it's CLAIM_YR. She has a code that'll save you $5. How it works, Claimyr has like an automatic dialer, and it keeps dialing until it gets through to the EDD, and then you get a call on your phone that's from the EDD, and then they're able to help you with your claim. It normally costs $20, but check on any of Jenny Silver's most recent videos. She's going to have a code that will save you $5 when you use her code. I can't believe I got to give out Jenny Silver's code. She actually gets a little commission on that too. You're welcome, Jenny Silver. Anyway, I just want to save you guys money. I care more about you guys saving money than, oh, it's not my code. So please know that I really do care about you and saving money. With that said, I don't think that you guys should have to pay to get through to the EDD, but I don't know what you guys got going on. Maybe you guys want to watch the Oscars today and then come to my movie theater and watch whatever wins, except I'm not allowed to disclose where my movie theater is. So just go support your local movie theater if you're comfortable doing that. We could really use the business right now. I don't know what you guys have to do, but almost anything is more important than sitting on hold. Well, I don't know. It's worth it because it's a lot of money. I'm rambling. I sometimes ramble at the end of these. To some of you, it may be worth it to spend the $15. Guys, please don't pay $20. Find Jenny Silver's code. Only pay $15 to contact Claimyr. And soon I'm going to have a code for you guys too. I've been emailing them. I tried to get one for, I was like, I know people are going to ask me about this on the live today. Can I please get the code before my live today? And he responded a couple times and then not after that. So use Jenny Silver's code, save yourself $5. It's an auto dial service. Claimyr dials out to the EDD till they get through, and then it rings you. You still have to hold for the rep, but it actually gets you through to the point where you have to hold. And I'm not saying I endorse paying that. You absolutely should not have to pay to get through to the EDD. It shouldn't be this hard, but to some of you, if it is worth it, and you were going to do it anyway, save yourself the $5 on it. Okay. I hope that made sense. And like, okay. All right. Mama Miss Benuela says, what do I need to do from here on? I missed the first part of that though, obviously. Okay. I found the first part. I have been exhausted since December 26th and pending since last month. Now it's because I failed to report hours. Will they still pay me the difference? They should. But sometimes you have to serve penalty weeks. At least you know why. I would also, in this case, reach out to your assembly member and say, hey, I've been pending all this time. They say I failed to report hours. I'm trying to work out, call them. There's like an overpayment department. It's a separate number. Reach out to the overpayment department, work out like a low repayment plan with them. Just tell them it was a mistake. They should pay you the difference, but it may complicate your claim for a little while, and it may be hard to like get things moving again. So, but reach out to the assembly member as well by email. Say, hey, I got an overpayment notice. I'm trying to get a hold of the EDD to try and correct this. I've been having a hard time getting through. I want to arrange a repayment. It can be really little, like $10 every other check. You are going to have to pay back any difference that they overpaid you, but yes, then you are supposed to get the remainder. But it gums up the system, so to speak. Okay. Bryant's helping people. Thank you guys so much for helping each other in the chat. Thank you, Blue-Eyed Female. I think I'm going to do one more question and then head out for the day. I don't know. Maybe I'll do my hair now that it's air dried. I'll flatten it out and then get dressed up and watch the Oscars. I don't even think I have TV to do that, but we'll see. I should watch the Oscars because it's my other job I do. It's part of my job. I don't know. Whatever. Okay. Queen K says, I called EDD and they said they updated my claim. I logged in and everything's up to date. It says 4/2/22. I certified for 2 weeks, but it's still pending until now. So it sounds like your claim is just in review, but I don't want to just tell you to sit and wait. I definitely do recommend calling them. I don't have the number. I'm going to Google it. I'm going to see if I can Google the overpayment notice. Alexander is in pending HE double hockey sticks. You guys, I swear like a sailor in my real life, but like YouTube does not like that. Okay, so you're going to do 4 things, Alexander, and pending HE double hockey sticks. You are going to call them and find out why. You're going to use Ask EDD. You're going to use Contact Us, and you're going to email that assembly member and tell them that you're experiencing financial hardship. You haven't been paid in such and such number of weeks. And is there anything that they can do to help you? EDD overpayment. Boop, doop, boop. Overpayment. So this is what it seems like you want to do. It says for an overpayment notice, log into the benefit programs online, select benefit payments, select make a payment from the I want to menu. I want to get paid is what we all want to do. Select payment method type, and then enter the required information. But also I want to find out, was it an overpayment notice, or are they claiming like false statement penalty weeks? So let me look over that. False statement penalty week. Oh no, it's a week of unemployment benefits that you would not normally receive, but won't because the state believes you intentionally tried to file a new claim. So in something like that, you would need to appeal. Now, an appeal process is going to get your claim stuck for anywhere between 15 weeks and 6 months. Call them, try and work something out. I know calling is really, really hard, but call them and see what they recommend to get everything working again. Oh dear. EDD is the Employment Development Department, and it's for California unemployment benefits. Okay. Paul is saying your card's good for 3 years. Yes, that's correct. Let's do Golden Knights. I was told by the rep I talked to that there's a quarter hold here in April and need to call in, and it will happen again in July. Yes. Okay, this is hard to explain. I tried to last time and I failed then. I'm probably not going to do a very good job now, but I will try. There's 2 different kind of reviews. There's a quarterly review, and then there's the third-party review. The third-party review happens when you file a new claim. Your new claim is sent to a third party for review. I'm told that process can happen between 2 to 6 weeks. Most of my viewers are saying it happens on the shorter side of things, from 2 to 3 weeks. But it can take up to 6 weeks for your claim to go through this third-party fraud review. Then that agency gives your claim back to EDD, says, oh yeah, it's cleared for payment, then you get paid. That review should only happen once when you're filing a new claim, which we're asked to do every 12 months if we still need unemployment benefits. So once for new claims. The quarterly review is for existing claims that got denied a new year. It's generally going to be older claims. Although a lot of us have older claims now. So a lot of us are not going to have to do the quarterly review this time, but we probably will in July if we were denied a new claim. I don't always know that you're not supposed to have to call to get that pending removed. But like you mentioned, a lot of people will. So basically the quarterly review, it's kind of similar, except it's not for fraud. What they're checking for is to make sure that you haven't earned any wages, that you don't have wages reported from a new employer, because wages might indicate that you're eligible for a new claim. So that's what they're checking for. And that happens every quarter because that's when your base period changes, kind of. So yeah, every quarter, older claims that are more than a year old are going to need to do a quarterly review. But you don't really need to do anything. You're not even supposed to have to call them to have it removed. But a lot of people are, because it gets stuck on pending. Okay, I lied. I'm going to do one more question. Skiggy grad Skargard, says, I had 1 week certification last week and nothing this week, but I had weeks added. Okay, so that's going to happen a few times. So if you think about regular unemployment, that's 26 weeks. That's equally divisible by 2 weeks, which is when we normally certify. But all of the PEUC extensions end in an odd number of weeks. The first one lasted 13 weeks. So you certified 6 times, that got you to 12 weeks. Then you had an odd week left over. You certified for just that 1 week, the 13th week. Then you start over, it changes your certification cycle, and you're going to certify again in 2 weeks from then. But that one only lasted 11 weeks. That's not 11. Anyway, 11 weeks. So that, again, not equally divisible by a 2-week certification cycle. So that time you'd certify for 5 times, that would get you 10 weeks paid. Then you're left with the odd 11th week that you certify for that week. Then it restarts your certification cycle. You certify again in 2 weeks from when you ran out of those 11 weeks. This latest extension lasts 29 weeks. Again, not divisible by 2. So if we got all the way through that, right, you would certify for 14 certification cycles, 28 weeks. Then you're left with that 1 weird week. So it sounds like you used up the last of your extension last week, then nothing this week. But they've reloaded your balance with the next extension. So when you certify again next Sunday, it'll have this Sunday and next Sunday on there. Except it really is Saturday. It's for the weekend and Saturday, but you certify on Sunday. Okay. I hope that made sense. All right, guys, I think maybe I'll watch the Oscars. Minari's supposed, whatever. Come to the movies. Try and find me. I don't know. Whatever. Have a great Sunday, whatever you're planning on doing. I hope you don't have to hold forever with the EDD. I don't recommend trying to call them today. They are always busy on Sundays and Mondays, really high traffic volume. If you guys are sick of calling the EDD and you want to use that auto dialing service, Claimyr, check out one of Jenny Silver's latest videos. She should have instructions on how to get $5 off. Normally it costs $20. She has $5 off if you're going to use that service anyway. I don't think you should have to pay. I kind of think that's criminal, but like this company that started that is genius because it's not just for the California EDD. It's like for all of the unemployment offices. So all of the unemployment offices are so bad that like an entire brand new tech company started for an auto dialing service to help you guys get through. Is that gumming up the lines and making it harder for the rest of us to get through? Probably. So I'm a little bit torn on it. I am going to work with them to give you guys a discount code because if you guys are going to want it, if you guys are going to use it anyway, you might as well not pay 20. You might as well only pay 15. Yeah. Doug is saying Claimyr got him through in less than 5 minutes. And that's just to the point where you hold. It's not going to get you all the way through to the rep. Doug, I hope you used Jenny Silver's code. It would save you $5. If not, just pretend I didn't mention that. You guys are so... Lou says they changed the episode to the Twilight Zone to the EDD. All right. Yes, you use Jenny Silver's code. That's awesome. Okay. You guys are welcome. Have a great Sunday. I'll see you tomorrow night at 6 if you still have questions that I didn't get to. All right. Thanks, guys. Thank you, especially Blue-Eyed Female. Props to you. I really appreciate you helping. All right. Bye, guys.